Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We had some last minute decisions here to make this morning, and I think we're going to start cutting second cut now. We were going to wait till after the weekend coming up because they were calling for about 40 to 50 mils of rain, but now all of a sudden that all went away here, so we're going to try hammering this out quick before it does rain on the weekend. We're still going to get some, and then I think barley silage is going to be next week, maybe a week and a half or so away, but definitely not a lot out here for a second cut, that's for sure. I guess we'll find out if there's any more tonnage here versus first cut. Looking at the whole field, it kind of looks like there will be, but it's also hard to say, so had to run to town here quick, get some more government juice because it ran out here, so then we're gonna go start cutting. Well, I can definitely tell already there is for sure more here than there was first cut, so it's definitely a good sign. Our corn right here, that's the corn on canola. It's really came back now. It's actually probably 3-4 feet tall already. Got the hay all cut there yesterday. Just got to finish tying up our bagger here and set it up, and then we're going to go start chopping here yet today. Alright, got the bagger here all tied up. This is all we do when we tie the bag. We just get this string that comes with the bag tied around, and then we try to have that knot as low as possible, so then when we take the net away, that knot will fall on top of itself and then it doesn't untie. We got everything here hooked up. Inside the tractor we use for the bagger, we actually have to put weights on the seat because it has so many safeties, and we need this tractor in neutral to run this bagger. So the tractor's got to be in neutral, and the bagger is what actually pushes the tractor ahead. And then on here we set our pressure for our disc brakes and the cable, and that's how the silage actually gets packed into the bag. So it's a pretty neat system, but also very simple. Some beautiful stuff here. Looks like it's a bit dry on us, but it's also just the opening round right now, so hopefully it gets a little wetter when we get to the inside. Dropping 6 rows into one, and our disc line is 13 feet, so definitely a good sized swath here. We got the neighbor out here with this merger helping us rig it together here, so definitely did get a little bit dry on us now. That is a wrap on our second cut forage. Definitely not more than first cut. I think it's actually about the same amount, so definitely could be worse, but wish it was a lot better also. So just got to get this bagger here unhooked now from the pile. Just got to pull it ahead, and then we actually have to cut off plastic and then close it up here. So got to take this cable off here first though, and then take off this back netting. We'll get the skid steering, lift us out of the way. It is also terribly hot out here today. It's supposed to go up to about 34 degrees, but then it feels like plus 42 out here with the humidity. So it is just sticky. Also here, our feed yard, we are bringing in some more dirt here, some more fill. And we're gonna go all the way to the shed there. And we're trying to fix up this yard here because it was actually quite like a bowl shape between these two bags. And the water was just sitting there, so we are working on fixing this up as well. Had the neighbor here with his huff hauling in some fill. the other day here when I was cutting that hay there actually. So other than that, it's looking pretty good so far anyways. Got a bulldozer here. He's gonna level it all out here once we get a little bit of rain on top of that, because it's quite dusty right now. Not the biggest machine, but it'll do the trick for what we need to do. Then we also got a box scraper. Maybe use that a bit too, help level it out. But it's kind of a hole in here, and then there's a hole by that shed. So want to get it all fixed up, because we're probably going to have about 10 bags here come fall. Between all the corn we're going to chop, and then the barley silage as well. That should be ready here anytime soon, maybe next week. We're going to go check it out here later. Alright, well that went pretty smooth. So usually you just let go of the brakes and then take the cable off the net there, move the net, and then what we're doing is we're rolling up this cable back onto the drum. And then you pull it ahead, cut the plastic, and then that's it, you pull it ahead. And now we'll put some dirt on there, we'll cover that up and close it up. So the only downside with this bagger specifically is when you do cut the bag or you're done with the bag, there's always feed left in the tunnel here. So you either gotta dig this out now by hand, or I just take the skid steer with the pallet forks and scoop it out. And then we'll just feed it right away instead of it wasting it, but that is packed like concrete. On the newer style baggers, with this model, they designed them now so there's like a back chute, a hydraulic back chute, so when you pull away from the bag, it actually pushes the leftover feed out of the tunnel as you go ahead, which would definitely be handy. Not sure if it's worth upgrading to that for the price difference, considering what we paid for this one. We got a heck of a good deal, I think, compared to what they are new now, for sure. So maybe one day in the future we'll upgrade this, but haven't had any issues with it yet so far, so been pretty good to us. So we got it all dug out here now, and then that's what it looks like when it's all cleaned out. So, and then there's the rotor spinning. That's what actually packs the silage into here. And then the fingers right there where the rotor's going through, that's what stops the silage from going back around. So I figured I'd come out here and show you guys a quick crop update since it's been a couple weeks now. Just here at the old farm. Old farm's right there. We got some beans seeded here, and then we got some barley here. I think if you guys actually go back on my YouTube channel page and go down to my previous videos, I might even have some video of us milking cows in the old barn here before we went to that new robot barn we bought. But yeah, these crops here are looking pretty good. These beans, definitely can't complain about them. We just did a second pass of Roundup on them, so these are good to go until fall time now. Hopefully they get a good yield. And then our barley here, this barley is a little bit further behind than the stuff we want to chop by the looks of it. But walking in here, this stuff looks pretty good too. So should get a good crop out of here. Heads are filling in now. So yeah, not bad. I really want to go check out that barley that we're going to chop. See how far along it is here. So here we actually got a wheat field. This wheat field is not actually the farm's, it's my own. Myself and Brittany bought this land here in the spring, so this is our first crop on this land here. And it is looking absolutely amazing too. Hopefully get a good wheat crop out of here. Some of these heads are actually really big. And it's a good sized tall plant too. Some of it's up to my waist. So this is just the kind of by the headland here in the sprayer track right now, but got a little bit of wild oats, but can't do too much about that now. And then the dairy is actually right there, if you guys can see the barn, straight ahead through those trees. So we're about 3/4 of a mile away from that dairy farm there. So that's where we bought some land here. So we actually got this wheat crop here, and then we also do another field I rent off a buddy of mine. We got some beans down the road there as well. So pretty cool to farm a little bit on our own, aside from what the farm does. At the barley crop here that we're looking to chop, just on the side of the headland here, some of the heads are starting to bend over, so that's a good sign. We're getting really close now. We also got a big storm brewing, which I'm definitely not surprised. It is a hot and humid day today, so I won't be surprised if we get a good thunderstorm yet later this evening. Possibly even hail, I wouldn't doubt it. We don't wish for hail, but can't do much about it if we're gonna get it. Just gonna walk further into the field here. This is by far the nicest barley crop I think we've ever grown, ever. It is just flat. I got a flag way out there, and that flag, oh, it's got to be 5 feet tall, maybe 4.5, and you can just barely see the top of it. Just crazy. Absolutely huge heads. Just pick one off here. Yeah, this stuff is going to be a couple days, so just a little on the juicy side yet, but you want to chop this stuff while the stems are still green. So right now our plan with this field and the next field is to probably chop it after the weekend here, middle of next week, end of the next week. And then we're gonna hammer in some haymaker oats right behind this with our air seeder. So we kind of would like to get some kind of like a grass silage. So if we can seed some haymaker oats, and if it catches and germinates, we'll chop that late in the year. And then at least we get some decent grass silage as well, because the alfalfa silage there's just not much of it. Very thankful for all the carryover we have from last year, but if we didn't have that, I think we'd be buying feed, or we'd be doing something different for sure. We would have chopped this maybe a lot sooner as a grass and then seeded something else right behind it, but that's kind of the plan here going forwards. We're going to seed, yeah, middle of July, end of July, some haymaker oats, and then most likely chop that late after corn silage or something. So hopefully we get a good growth out of it. If it grows a foot, we'll take it. That storm here is getting pretty close now. Wind's picking up. Oh well, if we get a good storm tonight, I guess we'll take it. We need the rain anyways now. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.